What up? What up? What up? What up? YouTube, peace. Instagram, what's up? Fan base, how is y'all doing? Good morning or good afternoon. For me, it is very, very early in the morning. What's up, Mitt? All good, man. All good. Figured I would go live today. Trouble was good. How's everybody doing, man? Hope everybody is having a phenomenal week. I know the week has just started, but for some of us, the week never ends. So it could be Sunday or Wednesday or Monday. I have no idea anymore. 7:22 p.m. Oh, that's a good time. That's a good time. That means you're about to get your belly full. See, what's good, bro? What's good, man? Just want to tap in with y'all. I'm trying to stay consistent. Yeah, been on the super grind. I feel you, True. I definitely feel you on that. I have too, man. I work kind of all over the place, but I'm getting ready to buckle down. It's fourth quarter. I'm going to start prepping now for first quarter, as we all should be doing for our businesses. What's up, Shay? Um, but the year's almost over, man. This year, for the most part, is done. So we just kind of wrap things up and kind of prepare ourselves for first quarter to tap into the renewed marketing budget. So for all my business owners, man, this is the time to start prepping for next year. Right now, most marketing budgets are usually tapped. Businesses have got their plan for the rest of the year for the most part. This is a time where they have the opportunity to go profitable for the rest of the year. Um, but the marketing budgets reset themselves pretty soon. So tap in. Um, if you're working on projects that you think are significant, make sure you do your marketing around that correctly. Don't half step, man, because it's you could really miss out on some opportunities if you don't do it correctly right now. So, but now's the time to do it, man. Now's the time to tap in. Now's the time to recognize your own superb abilities and reach out to your audience, man. Reach out to your market. Listen, I've never really been a fan of casting a super wide net and then just hoping that people show up and find you. I always think it's so much more effective to find the three people that support you and give them as much value as possible, especially now, right? Depending on how you move through the space, like my movement in this space has changed so much. So I know that I don't receive the type of support that I give out, and I'm okay with that because I move through the space very differently now. One, because I just don't have the energy to move through the space the way I used to. What's up, Leah? Um, and two, I just prefer a more targeted, focused approach. And I'm just not going to be able to support people the way they expect me to support them sometimes, and still do all the things that I want to do for myself. So what's good, bro? Um, but however you choose to move through the space, that is entirely up to you. I mean, I say this over and over and over again, and at this point, I am a complete broken record. Um, but that is your choice. Troop says, so I think in life I need, or I think in life I need, or in the metaverse I need more guidance. Yeah, and you know what? You're not unique, Troop. And I think the problem that a lot of us make um, is thinking that we know everything and have all the answers. Like, listen, I'm an answer resource, right? So a lot of people come to me, ask me a ton of questions, and I don't know all the answers. Like most of the time, what I've learned in life is that you you come face to face with a problem or an issue or an opportunity, and then you deal with it appropriately. That is it. But it's really the skill set in learning how to deal with obstacles that makes you valuable. That's it. It's not about knowing everything, because no one knows anything. And quite honestly, if you're around a person that knows everything or thinks they know everything, I would probably tell you to leave and seek some other advice, because we don't know everything. What's up, Metaverse Inspired? How are you? Um, yeah, because we don't know everything. Um, so the skill set that you should be looking for in people to help you is their ability to see a problem no matter what it is and try and work through a solution that makes sense. As a business owner, as someone that's worked in multiple levels of whatever, I've become a problem solver, and that's it. So whatever you come to me with, I don't care what the issue is, I'm going to help you try and figure out that problem. But we might not always get it the first time, and that's okay because it doesn't work that way. Which kind of leads me to the point of this live. I'm actually going to send this out to a couple of people. Y'all, please feel free to share these lives. As much as I love to hear myself talk, not these lives really are intended to assist and help other people in their journey. Really, that's it. I don't do this for any type of self glorification or recognition, obviously, because I only have 5 or 6 people watching these things every week. I truly, honestly do this to help creators try and connect the dots because there was a point in my life and still now that I'm going through trying to connect the dots, right? So learn from my mistakes. That is why I do this. um, and we should be learning from, I'm not even going to say the word mistakes. I'm going to say learn from the opportunities that I have given myself. And that's how we should be approaching this thing, man. Everything we do now is just an opportunity for us to try it again and do it better. All of it. Yes, nobody here is exclusive to necessarily anything great or life changing. Those opportunities don't come around extremely often. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. I do want to talk about what it looks like when an opportunity arises, how we can utilize that opportunity, and what we can best do for ourselves in order to make sure that those opportunities are beneficial. What's good, Mike Drop? Because listen, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm long-winded, and I'm only long-winded because I like to paint a picture and tell a story through my words. Only because I know that in telling a story, you may relate more directly with an experience more so than me just kind of preaching to you. What's up, Jamil? And I'm gonna tell you, man, opportunities are phenomenal, but I tell you, they don't come around every day. So when one presents itself, a few things can happen. One, you could be prepared for the opportunity, right? I told y'all before, I don't believe in luck. I think luck is just a matter of preparedness and and opportunity arriving at the same intersection. Because if an opportunity arises for you and you are not prepared for it, it is by no means an opportunity, and it could harm you more than it can help you. So, so for me, I look at opportunity as when that slim window of opportunity opens. And again, we'll discuss it a little bit more in depth of what these opportunities can look like. You just have to be kind of ready, but also you have to have the confidence to believe in yourself enough to take the chance with that opportunity and make something happen of it. I tell you about, I don't really live my life with regrets, right? I feel like in life, if you miss an opportunity and you're regretful from it, you probably weren't ready for that opportunity to come to you. Because if you recognize the opportunity as such, you would have taken more advantage of it. But also, I do realize that I don't, I try not to live my life with a bunch of regrets because I'm only as ready and prepared at the time that that thing happens, from where I am mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, or whatever. Right. So I can't regret something with the knowledge that I had yesterday with new knowledge that I've earned today. If that does that make sense to you? So knowing more, right, you make better decisions. Right. If people knew, and people still do it now, but if people knew that smoking was so harmful, um, back in the 50s and 60s when they forced this thing in front of us and made sure all our favorite celebrities were smoking, if they had better choices, they probably may not have taken the opportunity to smoke. And again, I'm not coming down on smokers, but now that we have the knowledge to know what smoking has the potential to do to you, it is still now a decision, that you make armed with that knowledge, where before that knowledge really wasn't shared with everybody as it was just seemed as glamorous and chic and all, and everybody's doing it without us recognizing what the harms were of smoking, right? Just a small analogy. So I don't live with regrets. I live based on the fact that I may not have had all the information available to me, may not have been smart enough, knowledgeable enough for me to make a better decision for myself for that opportunity. But I do have one regret. I do have one really big regret. So probably, God, maybe 10 years ago, my favorite MC is KRS-One. And, I've seen him perform a couple of times. What's up, MK? I've seen him perform a couple of times. Have had the opportunity to work with him on a project. I was a production assistant for Vibe magazine for the Great Dane hip hop shoot, where we all flew out to Atlanta. There's probably 30 named celebrity artists that were there. MC Shan, not MC Shan, sorry, KRS-One, Just Ice, MC Hammer, Ralph McDaniel, bunch of people, JJ Fad. It was cool. And, so I'd met him before. I had the opportunity to sit down, talk with him. And, for me as a fan, it was a bucket list moment for me. But years later, when I lived in North Carolina, he came to perform. Now, what one thing about me, right? I live and breathe hip hop, or at least for a huge chunk of my life, I did. Um, and with the elements of hip hop, I'm extremely limited in my capabilities, right? So I was a little bit of a graffiti artist, or not much. It was just something to do as part of the culture. Um, of course, I embraced the fashion. Um, I don't even know what the word is for it, a hip hop fashionista, but I embraced the fashion pretty heavily because it was just cultural. That's just the way I dressed. I am not an MC by any stretch of the means. I'm a terrible rapper. I'm not a DJ. I don't know how to DJ to save my life, but I was a dancer. Um, but I also embraced beatbox, so I could beatbox really, really well. Even though I couldn't rap, I was very good at beatboxing. But I remember I went to this concert in my little town in North Carolina that KRS One showed up to, and he was on stage and he turned off the music and he said, um, "So Black Girls Red says, were was I a part of any documentaries on hip hop? Not video documentaries, Black Girl, but I was a part of some publications. I'm an ex photographer. Hey, Lomans. I'm an ex photographer, so I have shot for Vibe Magazine, Source Magazine, Honey, New York Magazine, a bunch of publications all over. Done a bunch of album release things, and just I was just a contracted photographer. So, and I've also been in the music business as a manager too. We got an artist signed with Aftermath back in the day. Um, but I remember this one particular moment where KRS One said, "Listen, I'm gonna turn off the music. Like, where are my beatboxes in the house?" And man, I froze. I know, or I knew that I should have had the courage to get up on that stage and grab the microphone and beatbox for my favorite MC. And what's so crazy is that my favorite thing that I used to beatbox was a play on words. What's up, daughter? It was a play on words from Cosmos Good, bro. It was a play on words from a KRS One song. So, there's a part in the song Black Cop where it goes officer, 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 and they change the words to overseer. What's up, Cyber Shay? And I beatbox that like so incredibly in the way I did it. And I had the opportunity to do it with the artist who was on stage, who was my favorite artist, and I froze. And I watched two guys get up on that stage and battle each other in beatboxing, and then the winner got to beatbox for KRS One as he freestyled over it, and both of them weren't as good as me. Like I know that for a fact, and I'm very humble when I say that. But the things that I'm good at, I don't feel like I should be humble about. Um, but man, I missed my opportunity to beatbox with KRS One because I did not have the confidence in myself enough to get up on that stage and do it. And I tell you this, man, um, I want to talk really specifically about opportunities, but more so, in this space, I don't necessarily just like to talk about the black and white of entrepreneurship or business or what it takes to start a business. I think that stuff is, I'm never going to say easy, but I think that information is readily available for you. There are a ton of people who have the expertise to guide you through that. You can watch a million YouTube videos and you can figure all that stuff out, even if you go through that process very clunkily and manually. But I got to tell you, man, it's sometimes it all boils down to you having the courage to hit that publish button. It boils down to you to having the courage to say, I have the confidence enough in myself and my belief in my abilities are so strong that no matter what happens, I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity. That's all it comes down to. Because before you get to the point where you can hit that publish button, where you can show people your creativity, before you take a chance on yourself, you have to believe that the purpose is stronger than the pain. Rejection is a very serious pain point, especially for artists. How our work is viewed, how our creativity is received by the public, often affects our ability to move forward with that creativity. And listen, anybody who's an artist who's watching right now, chime in because I know. Listen, I'm not an artist, right? I'm artistic, and I always try to clarify the difference. I'm a creative, meaning I can operate in any platform. I can see the creativity part in anything, whether it be something physical, tangible. What's up, Danny? Physical, tangible, or none of the above, right? I can see creative opportunities in numbers, in business, in art. I can see creativity in everything, right? I don't necessarily consider myself an artist because I know um, the emotion, the pain that sometimes goes into creating art, and I don't always have that. Sometimes for me, it's just about creating. Like I can make a million things and not be attached to any one of them. But I know as an artist, that is a piece of you, that is a piece of your emotion, that is a piece of your soul that you sometimes put on display for other people to judge. And that's an extremely scary thing. What's up, Dane? Stacks, what's good, sis? It's an extremely scary thing, right? So I can create and give it away and not think twice about it, where I know an artist may spend 10 years creating a piece and still never feel accomplished or satisfied with it, right? So that's the only reason why I don't distinguish myself as an artist, because there's me, there's really not a whole lot of love and emotion into the majority of the things that I create. Now, don't get me wrong, when I do create, I do put love in it. And I think being authentic and genuine to a project is important. I feel like your emotion, your energy is translated through your creativity, which is why you can go into certain worlds. And I'll just use Horizon Worlds as an example because we're all here. But you can go into certain worlds and feel an emotion coming out of it. And I guarantee you, when that person built that world, it was very purposeful. But we've also gone into worlds that feel cold, that have no heart. Doesn't matter what they look like, and we just don't feel anything from it, right? And I can probably guarantee you, a lot of times when that person built that world as such, um, they built it with no emotion. They built it either to mimic something else that was popular, or just to get something out there because they're monetized and they just need to drive traffic. Um, so MK says would help someone creative but does not have business mindset. Yes, I think I think I get what you're saying. Um, and yeah, so I'm just one of those rare combinations that I understand both worlds, right? Because I've made money as a creative, I've made money as an entrepreneur, I've made money for other businesses, and I understand the process of monetizing creativity. On listen, I'm not a global superstar, but I've accomplished more than I ever thought I would by honestly just being ignorant to not knowing what bad could happen. Uh, Sometimes being ignorant and not knowing sometimes is the juice that you need. Sorry, I don't normally drink, but it is 3 o'clock in the morning for me. So, um, yeah, but and MK, really, that was my journey through the space. My journey through the space, one, started of me thinking I was going to be a phenomenal creator, because I do have some foresight into. I'm not going to say predicting the future, but I listen to my instincts and I can see trends happening really early, and that's always helped me throughout my career. But I realized I didn't enjoy building. Simple as that. I didn't want to be stuck in build mode. I didn't enjoy the process of building. My skill set was very limited, and I just didn't want to take the time out to learn how to be better at building. Right. Even though now I'm a decent builder, It is a process for me still. I have to be in a certain mood to create. But I know as a creative in this platform who does it for the creative purposes, I couldn't be consistent enough or passionate enough to do it on a full-time basis. But I did see so many creative people with an immense amount of talent, and I knew that my skill set in helping people throughout my entire career, this didn't just start in the metaverse with the way I mentor and help people. I knew that that skill set would better be served in aiding a creator who didn't quite understand the process of monetizing their creativity, or quite frankly, just have the confidence enough to hit the publish button. That is where I was better suited for the metaverse. Even now, like and listen, I know there may be a chance where I could lose the opportunity with Meta. We're not supposed to talk about this, but I am a monetized creator. The majority of people don't know that I am monetized because I don't create worlds to engage and tap into my monetization. I'm a firm believer that we have all the skills that we possibly need in order for us to monetize ourselves. That is what I teach people. I don't want people to become reliant on any one platform or any opportunity that somebody else gives you, because that opportunity can be taken away. Right? What's the saying? Teach a man to fish. Give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach him how to fish, he'll eat forever. And I'm a firm believer of that mindset. As great as an opportunity as it potentially is to be on a payroll for somebody in order to create, if that opportunity gets taken away, which a lot of people figured that out recently, that doesn't leave you in a very good position. We learned a lot of that stuff from alt spaces. Any alt spaces in here? If you're from alt space, put metaverse in the chat, because as dope as y'all were, as great as that platform was, from what I hear, it disappeared and it left a whole lot of people who were making 5, 6 figures to making this much, right? But what did you do with the skill set that you learned? How did you better position yourself and diversify your business in order to exist somewhere else? Right? That was a real issue. But in my understanding of corporations, and I've worked in corporate spaces for as long as I can remember, um, that's the way it is, man. It's nothing but a dollar amount, and you are a number. The perception of love and support and all this stuff, I mean, it looks good for marketing, but for the most part, it comes down to dollars and cents, which is why honestly I prefer to work with small mid-range companies than I ever do working for corporations. I need to feel the pain points from people. I don't feel pain points with corporations because their pain points are always attached to a dollar amount. That is it. Whatever's going to be working best for them, dollar amount wise, is what they're going to roll with. And I need to feel a little bit of emotion around people and pain points. So Jamil says, yeah, she taught classes there. MK says, alt space made me stop investing in metaverse. It really hurt. Yeah. Um, but you know what? We as creators, but more than creators, thinking about this thing from a social or business standpoint. Listen, as an investor, I've learned so much more about business and life by becoming an investor. Um, you hear the terms, don't put all your eggs in one basket, but until you've lost everything from putting all your eggs in one basket, you're not going to feel the pain point. Uh, so Black Girl on Fanbase says, I love art. I love creating dance, but wind up using my talent to teach middle school core subject. That's phenomenal, Black Girl. And that is a good utilization of your talent, right? And I'm a firm believer, man, that those that don't do should teach. Share your gift with other people, right? You can share your gifts by putting them in front of people, or you can share your gifts by making sure that the generation behind us, or the people that don't know what their own talents are, have the tools and resources to make themselves better. Because honestly, man, the only way we all get better is by helping the person to the left or right of us. Listen, my name for a long time in Horizon Wells has been one of the most recognizable names in the space, right? And I say this with all humility, but no ego. You guys know me; I don't operate from that. It wasn't because of my creativity. It is because of my true belief in this space. Is that we have to be able to add a moniker of value to every single person we run into. That is it. That is it. I wanted to add a piece of value into everybody I touch. And then because of that, my name became recognizable. Even now, as I'm fading into obscurity with the things and the way that I move now. The people I still come in contact with, I still try to leave a little piece of value with every single person. And I don't care what it is, whether it be, sometimes financially. And I wish I could support you as financially as I once was able to. But, I'm hills and valleys with working in the metaverse. Yes, contract work is good, but contract work isn't always consistent. But but I tell you, it's the value doesn't always have to be necessarily you showing up in an opening, because I'm not going to show up for an opening. I just don't like social spaces like that. It gives me a bit of anxiety. And most times when I show up, I'm ready to leave, right? It may not always be just financially. Sometimes it could be just reaching out to a person you see that has done something great, or has taken the courage, or has taken a step, which takes a lot of courage just to publish. And you just reach out and tell a man, what you did is dope. Congratulations. Don't worry about if they're the best. There's so much, and excuse my French because I might start cussing a little bit, but it drives me absolutely freaking crazy to see people that only gravitate to people because of their successes and because what they think they can eventually do for them. That shit drives me up the wall. When you only gravitate to the most popular person, and again, I know it. I've been at one point one of the most recognizable names in the space, and I saw how people came around me, even though I didn't necessarily have anything to offer them, but didn't come around up until I got to that point where I did become recognizable. And I still see it today. I see people now who are coming into their own right, and then people who didn't give them a time of day. What's up, Big? And probably you can speak to this as well as I can. I see when people didn't give people the time of day, even though they tried to reach out to them, and now didn't start coming around until they became popular. We can call it clout chasing, we can call it any number of things, but that shit drives me crazy. We have to stop doing that shit, because you don't know somebody else's talent, even though they may not present themselves. Let's just be good to people and find out what people need. Really, it's that simple. But you don't always know what people's talents are. I talk about Sade all the time of this. I remember Sade before she created, and no one gave her the time of day. They woke up to her. Back in the day, we used to look at the name tags and see what worlds they had to see if they were popular. And if you didn't have any name tags, people just walk away. Wouldn't even start a conversation with you. But of course, in doing that, they didn't get to see her not only as a phenomenal creator, but as a dope person. Like, they didn't even give themselves the time to get to know who she was outside of the creativity. And then when she started creating, of course, it was phenomenal and exploded. And then everybody wanted to be around her and get a piece of her after they saw the creativity, not before. But those that know her know that she's a dope individual, and she doesn't lead with her creativity as being the only thing that she wants to do. But you didn't give her the opportunity to learn that, right? And so many movements in this space are only based on watching people reach a moniker of success, and then they want to get to know you. And that shit drives me crazy. That kind of really pisses me off. And quite frankly, I don't have a lot of respect for people that just do that. And one thing that I have been really good at in my entire career, not just in the metaverse, is developing and spotting patterns and trends, right? Which is why I'm good at my job and being a strategist, because I see trends coming. I usually know from way out what's going to be successful, what people are going to gravitate to, where things are going. Not because I'm a clairvoyant, it's because I just pay attention. Most corporations within their marketing will lay out their entire marketing plan into what they're presenting in front of you. They'll tell you what's important. That's it. They can show you what's important, tell you what's important without ever having to advertise it directly. That's what marketing is, right? They want you to believe a certain thing and follow a certain trend. And I've just had the ability to pick that stuff up early in my career. But but yeah, man, it just bothers me when people listen. I've had times where I've had world openings, and because I only had a popular creator in there, they didn't even come to me, or not, or maybe not just me, anybody. I watch people come in to a brand new build, not even connect with a creator, drop a like nothing, just there to check somebody else who is at the time maybe more popular. and see what they're doing without even giving any credit to the creator for the world. That shit is, I don't know, that's just silly to me. It's annoying. But anyway, the subject here is opportunities, right? And taking advantage. So an opportunity is only an opportunity when you're ready for it. Because if you're not ready, you're going to miss it. 602 was good. I've never seen your name before. Welcome to the chat, 602. Um, yes, that is correct. I got a comment on YouTube. Yes, that is absolutely correct. And we should be doing that for each other's, right? We should be taking care of each other. And listen, you don't have to take care of the whole world. That we don't have the capacity to do that. But I guarantee you take care of the few people that are in your circle and empower them to do better and bigger things for themselves. Those few people hopefully will do the same for the few people in their circles. And that's how we can all become successful. That is how, as a unit, we can all make a difference into the things that we're doing on a day-to-day basis. Man, it's that simple. It really is. We ain't got to save everybody, man. Just take care of the people next to us and allow them to do the work. What's up, boo? Bang. You know, I always get, I got to figure out what to call you, man, because I call you boo. That sounds strange. I'll call you bangers. I want to say pause. I guess I'll just call you double B, and that even sounds crazier. I got to figure out what to call you. Um, but I tell you, man, we become better when we make the people around us better selflessly, right? And if you don't do it selflessly, if you do want to dedicate all the energy to yourself to become great, then make sure you recognize the people that helped you on that journey, or at least if you are the forefront of your company and you do become that person who is great, make sure you're helping the people around you also become great. Um, don't just do it for yourself, man. And I know in business, I know to become successful, the energy and the time that we take for ourselves, we have to be a little bit selfish, right? It comes with the territory. You will become stagnated in your own successes sometimes if you don't become a little selfish. I'm case study number one. I could use all my resources, all my tools, all my creativity to do amazing things for myself and nobody else. And I've watched creators in this space do that. Um, everybody likes to lead with this word community. Very few people show that they are for the community. But I tell you, however you use your energy, and again, whether it's selflessly or selfishly, in order to create these amazing platforms for you or yourself, just make sure that if you get to that point, you're at least helping other people around you or the people you care about also get to that point and give them the opportunity. That is why I don't believe in gatekeeping. I'm not a gatekeeper at all. In fact, if you want to be exclusive with something, don't share that shit with me. Because if I figure it out and I realize that other people can benefit from the opportunity, which I have a freaking solid proven track record with, I'm going to share it and make sure other people utilize the tools because I don't know how far those ripples will go. Seriously, I don't know with what the knowledge I give to somebody, what they'll do with it to make everything better. And think about that. You think that your little piece of knowledge or creativity um, is the best utilization of it. But you don't even realize that if you share that information or knowledge with somebody else, they may develop something that becomes so amazing that it helps your platform or any platform you're operating in grow. You don't know that, right? So when you keep all that information to yourself and gatekeep it, you don't know how stagnated you could be creating or making the space become. Um, Appreciate it, Spin Tech. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. So opportunity, and again, I'm not going to be super long winded, even though I have been already. So again, I missed my opportunity with KRS-One. That was an opportunity that technically I was ready for, but mentally I wasn't, right? So that opportunity didn't become an opportunity. And I watched those people beatbox on stage with my favorite MC, and I missed the opportunity completely. And I don't know if that opportunity would ever happen again. It was one time in the 40 years that I've been following this dude that I had the opportunity to share stage with him, right? And that's the thing with opportunities. Yes, I am 100% in agreement that we create and can create our own opportunities. I absolutely 100% believe that. I'm not going to allow anybody to tell me whether or not I can become successful. Um, yes, we'll talk about that, Jamil. Um, I'm still developing the process, and I do want to get some information out. So, for those that don't know, I've created a new world called Masterclass, and what I would love to utilize that world for, it is a primitive world, right? I wanted to make sure I kept it in a primitive build, not a tri-mesh build. But what I want to use that world for is for people who have a skill set to come up on stage and teach a masterclass. And I think it's just a good opportunity to kind of centralize everything. It's not going to be paid. It's not going to be any one of these things, and it's going to be people who want to talk about what they do in the metaverse to do it in a space that's a pretty cool build. It was actually built for me by a guy named Parsival. Parsival is a real close friend of mine, amazing creator in Horizon Worlds, and he gave me the space. I paid him for it. What's up, Smash? And then I just kind of redecorated it in my own style and added a bit of technology and a purpose for it. Again, moving intentionally and with purpose. So masterclass uh, is I'm proud of it, right? I think it has the opportunity to help people on their journey and create additional lanes and opportunities for them. And there we go, opportunities. But listen, if you don't have the courage to get up on that stage and talk about how dope you are and the things you do, then as you struggle in your own little circle for exposure and to grow your business, this is an opportunity that I'm presenting for you. Whether or not you choose to use my space or not is irrelevant, right? But I know opportunities in here sometimes work better and go faster when you utilize and take advantage of the work that somebody else has done. What's up, Brooke? Lynn? Um, Utilize the opportunities and the lanes that other people have created, right? I I am I am a pathway to your success, right? Any number of people in your lives are pathways to your success. So utilize them accordingly. If I'm going to do the work to market, to build, to present these opportunities for you to get on stage for 15 minutes and talk about what you do, utilize it, right? I'm not asking for anything in return. Um, I'm not asking you to pay me for the time. All I'm asking you is to tell me when you want to do it so I can make sure that there's a public calendar presented for people to show up and listen to what you have to say, right? But put in the work, utilize people accordingly, to let you allow people the ability to be used if that's how they want to present themselves, right? It is so hard for you as an individual, any one of us, to get our message out across to as many people as you want to get around it if we don't utilize other people's platforms and information to do so. Like, how many people as an individual can you touch? Because listen, I'm a firm believer in 6 degrees of separation. I guarantee you that I know every single person on the planet through 6 degrees of separation. I guarantee you. Because the people that I know people, and the people they know people. I'm probably 1 degree separated from the entire globe, and if at the most 3 degrees of separation by just the people that are in my network and who I've run into. A lot of those people are you, right? Because of the people that y'all know, right? So my message can become your message, and your message can become everybody's message if we utilize it and operate in this space correctly. Um, Yes. Yeah, it's really that simple, man. Don't overcomplicate it. And I think we overcomplicate all of this stuff sometimes. We put so much work and energy and thought into making sure that it's perfect. And quite honestly, nobody gives a shit. Like really, no one cares if the napkins are lilac or pink. Only you care about that stuff. Um, we are more perfect than you can even imagine. What we present to people is usually better received through your energy than it is through anything else. So if you believe it enough, if you have the confidence enough, if that is portrayed through whatever you present in front of somebody, that is all that matters. And I've been to concerts at the Barclay Center, at MSG, and had terrible experiences, and have been to phenomenal concerts in a one-room sweatbox, and had the most extreme and best time of my life. So where you do it doesn't matter. How you do it matters immensely. Bless child was good. So these opportunities, man, again, one, they may not present themselves the same way a second time, but two, do the work in making sure that you're ready for the opportunity once it shows up for you. And that work oftentimes is your ability to be confident enough in your abilities. That is it. We all have a talent, every single one of us. And whether or not you think your talent is irrelevant, right? All of us on this planet, every single one of us can probably do one thing better that no one else can do. Every single one of us. Here's something really that will blow your mind. That one thing that you can do better and be better than anybody else at is being yourself. There is not a damn person on this earth who can be meta clean but me. I don't care what you mimic. I don't care what you duplicate. I don't care how you see it. There is not one person on this earth that can be you better than you. And maybe that is your talent. Maybe that's what people show up for. And maybe that's all you need to present in front of people is your authentic self. Crazy, right? So Black Girl on Fanbase says, am I in the US? My business is based in the US, Black Girl, but I'm actually now physically in Dubai. So it is 4 a.m. in the morning. Good morning. Sun is still not up. I've got my cup of coffee. Not sure why the 20s on the bottom and the 24 on top, but it was given to my wife because she's the best teacher ever. Because she's taught me so much about myself and love and patience and all the other things I've stressed her out about. Yeah, but I tell you, man, I just want people to be confident enough to do what they want to do. Right. Before we go on to be successful, before we do any of these number of amazing things we have to do, we have to first believe that we can do it. Like mindset is all that matters in entrepreneur. Well, it's not all that matters, but it is a key factor in how your life ends up. Has anyone thought about that? I know we touch on it. I know YouTube tells you that all you need is an EIN and the ability to work 20 hours a day and you can make it. But listen, if you don't believe you can make it, you're not going to make it. A lot of y'all may or may not know I live by the moniker create, love, inspire, and add value. My favorite, absolute favorite, most impactful quote ever to me is by Henry Ford, regardless of what you think about him as a person. Um, his quote was, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're absolutely right. And that is so impactful. That is so impactful to me because as someone who has struggled with confidence, with self-doubt, with depression, with all these other things I want to put above my head to sabotage myself and limit my growth, I tell you, the belief in your abilities can take you to unimaginable heights. But I also know that not believing your abilities can put that ceiling above your head and make it impenetrable. So whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. If you think you can't do it, I guarantee you're probably not going to do it. Simple. If you think you can do it, then I guarantee you it doesn't matter how many times you fail, you're probably going to figure out a way to do it. I think a lot of people are realizing that by coming into the metaverse. So, Blackley, if you don't know, I have a business in the metaverse. So I am a metaverse strategist. So I help people formulate their ideas in order to launch their businesses or creativity or any number of things they want to do in the virtual reality space. Yeah, but if you think you can't do it, you're probably right. You probably won't ever do it. Right. It'll become the pain will become bigger than the purpose. And that is what's stagnating. It's not fair. We're all scared. We're all fearful. Where it becomes a problem, um, Yes. So I'm sorry, I'm talking to fan base now. But so yeah, if you go to I'm new to fan base, so I'm not really sure how to work it. But if you go to my Instagram page under the same name, my entire metaverse journey is laid out for you, the good, bad, and ugly. So yeah, you can go to my Instagram page. I think I have a link on my fan base profile, and you'll be able to see some of the things that I do in the metaverse. Um, and listen, there are a lot of dancers in the metaverse. We just had a dancer in there named Jennifer Melkor, who's probably one of the most successful choreographers in hip hop. Was in the space with us, um, doing some interviews and stuff. Yes, Leo, I've been on Fanbase for a little while now. Yes, don't play with me. You know my struggles when it comes to social media. I'm guerrilla tactics, man. I'm just gonna flood it and figure out and see where the pieces lay. I am getting better at making sure my thumbnails are tight and being a bit more structured, though. But social media is not my forte. That's why you're around. Um, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Just trying to reach a broader audience, man. Listen, I just want people to win. That is it. Yeah, I don't want anything from anybody. Even as much support as I've given out and sometimes don't receive any of it back in return, it is what it is, man. I can be in my feelings or out of it. It's not going to stop me from doing the things I want to do. Of course, I'd love your support. Of course, I would. Of course, I want you to buy every ticket, come to every concert, come to every event, follow me in everything I do. But that's just not the reality, and that's okay. It is not going to stop me from doing the things that I want to do for myself or for other people. Yes, the only reason I don't support as much as I used to anymore is because I just don't have the time to do it anymore. I'm more focused around particular projects. I'm more focused around individuals. And really, that's what kind of brings me joy. I've always preferred the one on one time that I get to spend with people rather than dealing with a mass group of people. And if you don't know that about me by now, then you haven't been paying attention. Yes. Even the public speaking, I don't necessarily love the public speaking. I know it is a means to an ends in order to get my point across, and now it's just something that I'm never going to say comfortable doing, but it's something that I am able to do, probably better than most people in the space, um, as I get up on that stage and realize that the purpose is bigger than the pain. I hate my voice. I stutter. Sometimes I'm not clear with my thoughts faster. All right. Somebody told Cam Bam that I'm in the middle of a live. Obviously, he's not watching Cam Bam, or you realize I was on a live right now. Um, yeah, man. My purpose is bigger than the pain, um, and I've struggled with that, even in dealing with even with dealing with with depression, and I still deal with it, but I manage it. Right? I don't think, most ailments you don't ever completely heal from. You just figure out ways to manage them and be prepared for your triggers. Like if you're allergic to shrimp, you'll probably never ever stop being allergic to shrimp. But the way you manage it is by not eating shrimp, right? Because if you ate shrimp, you'd either die like me, or you become very ill. So I don't think depression is any different. I don't think you're ever truly healed from any of that stuff, whether it be mentally or physically. I think we just figure out ways to manage it in our day to day process and make sure that we are taking care of ourselves. And it all has to start from there, man. You got to be healthy, um, or you've at least got to have a healthy mindset. Whether physically you're not healthy or mentally you struggle. Your mindset really will be the one thing that will take you into tomorrow, hopefully. And we've lost a lot of greats, man. We've lost a lot of amazing people who had struggled with mindset. I mean, listen, Robin Williams. Um, for people that recognize depression, you could tell that he was depressed. And many comedians, I think, suffer from that because of the way a lot of our comedic actors, especially the really funny ones, do an amazing job at drama and serious roles. You ever thought about that? how they can make somebody and make everybody laugh, but they do so phenomenal at dramas, especially painful ones that talk about hurt, because they're tapping in to their real selves sometimes. And as somebody that used humor and acting out as a way to mask how unhappy I was, I recognize that in people. I recognize that the funniest people in the room, the loudest people in the room, are oftentimes the people that are struggling with the most hurt. Yeah, be mindful of that. Recognize that, because there's a lot of people in the space who are like that. A ton of people, and I think we gravitate to the space because of that. Because we may struggle with the physical world sometimes, or do physical or mental things that we can view as holding us back. And this space can provide a certain amount of comfort if you utilize it right. But also, if you don't utilize it right, it can be really painful for people, right? Because it could be bullying magnified, it could be being invisible magnified. Um, and I never want people to feel invisible, man. As a Capricorn, I hate feeling invisible. Uh, and that is one good way to lose me, by making me feel invisible or not valued. Um, my Capricorns, raise your hand. Listen, I don't need you. I want you around. Um, and if I have to do this by myself, I will. But I do need you, right, for other things. I don't need you for anything I want to do in my business, or moving forward, but I want you there and I do need you there. And I know it sounds like an oxymoron, um, but most Capricorns are fiercely independent. We don't like asking for help. We don't like receiving help. We don't like things from other people. We will put our nose to the grind and just climb up that hill like the goats we are and figure out a way. But we do need people. We absolutely do. But don't play with our name. Um, and this year, man, I think I allowed people too many opportunities to play with my name, um, and I let too many triggers get flipped, and it was bad. I went to a really dark place, for a couple of months, and still dragging myself out of it now. But I'm tapping into the things I love to do, which is helping people on my own terms. So anyway, long-winded metaclean. But listen, man, tap into your creativity, have confidence in yourself, try to limit the self-doubt. And I know it's always going to be that voice in your head that limits you. But really, man, understand that you are unique in your abilities for nothing else than being just you. I don't care how good or bad you think you are in anything. All that shit doesn't matter. Just have enough confidence in yourself to be able to do the things that you want to do and be okay with it. Whether it's for one person or 10 million people, it doesn't really matter as long as you feel good with the outcome. All right. So, a couple of announcements. So, for one, please share this. We have postponed our concert for this weekend, for nothing more than we have decided to change the format slightly, and we will be adding a celebrity guest, and we're just allowing that guest the ability to get ready to come into the metaverse for the first time. They have to bring a headset. They've got to prepare themselves a few things, and we just think that the change, um, was going to be very is going to be more impactful to the show than without it. So we've just decided to postpone it for now. But we will be putting on a concert with Tiff Page. It is postponed. We don't have a date yet. We now just have to wait on the technology and the FedEx and the UPS mailing system to do their thing. But we'll be bringing in, that celebrity guest. Super excited. Somebody that I definitely listened to, um, in my younger days, and excited for that person to be in the space. They've done some amazing stuff, um, in music, and we're excited to present that person in front of you. So we decided to postpone it just because we want to put on a more dynamic show, and we're okay with it. We're good with it. Also gives us the ability to, work on some of the other things that we've been working on. Blocktober has been extremely busy for us. I'm going to be bringing out new platforms. Jen has some platforms coming out. Froze, and Shay and Mr. Wadlow all have platforms and activities that they're working on. So it really just gives us the opportunity to focus individually on the things we're doing and present a better and more significant project to the metaverse. That is what we do, right? We're the block. The block is in the building. So we're excited, man. We're very, very excited. In saying that, of course, some selfless and plugs. Um, I have been trying to bring back Meta Talks Live for 8 months now. Um, every time I talk to you, I say we're almost there. Um, and we have been almost there because I haven't done anything with the world. Mentally, I have to be in a certain space to bring that show back. I have to have time to dedicate to the show, but I also need to find a good home to put that show for recording. So I am one step closer to that than I was yesterday. Meta Talks Live will be coming back, date to be determined. But in the interim, I still have a few other venues, right? I've still got Virtually Connected, which will be launching very soon. We're just kind of working on the final pieces of some of the technology in order to make the space work. But in between there, what's up, Karma? In between there, we will have masterclass. So please listen. This whole live is about opportunities. If you have a skill set that you would like to share to the people in virtual reality, I don't care if it's virtual reality based or not, none of that matters, right? You as an individual have done things for yourself which may or may not translate in this virtual space, but will help people, right? Let's help people first and use technology as a platform to do so. That is it. So I don't care what skill set you have, what you've learned in your career, you now have an opportunity to share that with people and bring them along on your journey. Uh, thank you, Karma. Same to you. Right? So if you have a skill set, share it with other people, right? If you want to create a following based on what you want to do, whether it's virtual reality based or not, this is your opportunity to connect. Like, utilize my name, utilize my platform in order to take that audience with you on your journey to grow your platform. That is an opportunity that you should be taking advantage of. It'll take you 30 minutes to get up on stage out of 180 hours that are in the week. Is that how many hours in a week? I don't even know. But however many hours in the week, just dedicate 30 minutes of that time in order for you to get in front of an audience that may not necessarily be just yours, right? Utilize my platform, utilize these things that are laid out for you to use. It's not going to cost you anything. I'm not going to charge you for the space. The space is strictly for the community in order for them to share their talents with anybody that they want to. Drive them to the space. I'll help with marketing. I'll put it on a calendar that I'll put out every week for people to show up, and we'll just learn things together, right? There is so much about people in space that I don't know that I want to learn. I know a lot of what people do, but I don't know how they do it or how they got to do it, right? I want to learn just as much as anybody else. But I also want to follow people on their journeys off the platform to see what they're doing, to see how we can support them in their efforts. Masterclass is that opportunity for you. Opportunity. You're paying attention? Right. And whether it's me, somebody else, or whomever, if these things are presented for you, take advantage of it, man. Just get up there on stage. So I hope that every single one of the talented people that are in this live right now watching, DM me and let's put you on a calendar and figure out when it makes sense for you to get up on that stage and talk about how dope you are and how dope the things that you have accomplished in your life are that can help other people. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Simple as that. Cool. All right. So, and that's it. Also, catch Jen Smash on Same Dame. She'll be on Dame's Live Friday, 8 Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. I always show up an hour early because I forget that it's Central. But let's show some support here. She supported a ton of people in their efforts. Let's make sure we show up for her and give her some support at Dame Show. Dame puts on a phenomenal show. So let's flood the place out. I'm sure Jim won't have a problem filling the space up. So, and let's see what else is going on. Yes, I do believe SOBs is still in full effect. So, phenomenal bill by Mr. Wadloon. If you haven't checked it out, please do. We're getting ready to go back in and start recording some videos. So look out for some videos coming your way. We are preparing for November, even as we're still in October, but November, we're actually going to dedicate the month of November to Yo Afro. It is her birthday month, so pay attention and look for some stuff coming there. She has been extremely given of her time and energy to a lot of people in this space. So for this one, yes, goddamn, we want some support. Let's put some respect on her name. So we'll be doing a number of things: new music, videos, maybe not new worlds, but we'll be doing a lot of stuff with some of the worlds we already have. But we're just going to celebrate her for the month, and we'll be introducing some new people into the space through her and her platform. So yeah, man, let's love on each other. Year's almost over, man. I know Halloween's around the corner. Get ready for Christmas because Christmas is a big creative month. A lot of stuff around Thanksgiving for those that are new to the space. We do commune a lot around Thanksgiving, so prepare to go to 150 Thanksgiving dinners. Can only imagine what they're going to look like now with so many more people having access to TriMesh. And of course, Christmas, man. Christmas is always phenomenal in the space as we just sit back and reflect and be thankful for the entire year and the people that have made a difference in our lives. Right? Don't forget the things that are important, which are people first, everything else second. All right. So, um, but please come check my worlds out, man. I'm super excited for these. I'm going to be pouring a bit of energy into myself for a change around these things. So I would like to give these things to y'all as an opportunity. All right. So you know what it is, man. I've been on here for an hour, and now it is 4:23 in the morning, and I'm probably going to get back into bed for 2 hours. But you know what it is, man. Create, love, inspire, and add value. And I guarantee you do any one of those four things, it'll make a difference into somebody else's life, but also yours. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. See y'all next week.